There are movie endings you forget the moment the credits roll. And then there are endings like Uncut Gems, the kind that slap you across the face, steal your breath, and leave you sitting in stunned silence. If you've seen it, you already know. That final scene doesn't just wrap up a story, it detonates it. But why does it hit so hard? This isn't just another film about gambling, crime, or bad decisions. It's a psychological descent into obsession. A portrait of a man who isn't trying to win money, he's trying to outrun meaninglessness. Howard Ratner doesn't want stability. He wants adrenaline. He wants to chase. And that chase leads him right to the edge of the abyss. What makes Uncut Gems stand apart is how unapologetically it denies the audience comfort. There's no moral lesson tied up in a bow, no satisfying revenge, no redemption for the flawed hero. Just a man consumed by chaos and then swallowed whole by it. In this video, we're going beyond the surface. We're unpacking the layers of symbolism, addiction, and poetic violence that make Uncut Gems not just a movie, but a warning. We'll explore why Howard's final moments, no matter how devastating, are exactly what the story demanded. So if you're ready to stop watching this film like a casual viewer and start seeing it for what it truly is, a brutal, beautiful commentary on the cost of compulsion, then you're in the right place. Let's break down the chaos. $1.2 million won, a single breath, a single smile, and then a bullet through the cheek. That was Howard Ratner's final moment, euphoric triumph, followed by instant death. But was it failure? Was it karma? Or, in Howard's twisted mind, was it exactly how he wanted to go? In today's breakdown, we're diving deep into the ending of Uncut Gems. Not just what happened, but why it had to happen, and why that trippy final shot into the galaxy inside Howard's bullet wound might be the most brutally poetic exit in modern cinema. If you've ever walked away from this movie feeling confused, furious, or weirdly satisfied, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Uncut Gems ends in a perfect storm of desperation, addiction, and delusion. But to understand the ending, we need to understand the moments that lead up to it. Howard Ratner is a man ruled by compulsion. Not just a gambler, but an addict to risk itself. His entire life is a balancing act over a pit of chaos, and he likes it that way. By the final act of the movie, Howard has managed to recover the rare Ethiopian black opal, a mystical gem that he values at over $1 million. NBA superstar Kevin Garnett wants it, desperately, and he's willing to pay. Eventually, after chaos, betrayal, a bathroom fight with The Weeknd, and almost losing everything, Garnett returns and offers Howard $165,000 in cash for the opal. This is the moment Howard could walk away, pay his debts, get his life back in order. But he doesn't. He can't. Instead, he takes the cash, hands it to his girlfriend Julia, and sends her off to place a massive parlay bet on Garnett's performance in that night's game. Meanwhile, Howard traps Arno, his loan shark brother-in-law, and his two violent enforcers inside the store's security vestibule. For 3/4 of the game, they watch, fuming, as Howard screams at the TV like his life depends on it. Because it does. And then the impossible happens. The bet wins. Howard just turned $165,000 into $1.2 million. He jumps, he screams, he laughs. He's giddy with adrenaline and pride. In his mind, he just proved them all wrong. He proved the chaos was worth it. He won. And then Phil, one of the enforcers, calmly raises a gun and shoots Howard in the face. Point blank. Just like that, it's over. Howard's death is shocking, but it's not random. It's earned. All movie long, we watch him make reckless decisions, not because he's stupid, but because he's addicted. To the thrill, to the chase, to the feeling of being almost ruined. And that's what makes this ending sting so much. For most of us watching, we're wired to root for the underdog. We don't want him to die. We want the money to save him. We want Julia to come back. We want the bad guys to lose. But Uncut Gems doesn't give us what we want. It gives us what's real. Phil, the enforcer, doesn't care that Howard won. All he sees is a man who just risked everything he owed, who humiliated them, who treated life like a joke. That smile on Howard's face, that's not victory. That's obsession fulfilled. A man dying at the peak of his high. It's a dark mirror. Howard didn't care about the money. He cared about being right. He cared about proving that he could beat the system. And in that 1 second, he did. But the moment after, the world hit back, and it hit hard. That's what makes this the best version of the ending. Because anything else, a win, a redemption arc, a peaceful retirement, would have betrayed the very soul of the movie. Howard never wanted peace. He wanted action. He got it. And it killed him. After the bullet rips through Howard's cheek and he drops to the ground, the camera does something strange. It zooms into his open wound, into his cheek, into the blood. And what we see is familiar, the swirling galaxies, the cosmic terrain. The same visual journey we saw at the beginning of the movie when the camera dove into the black opal itself. So what does this mean? Some interpretations suggest this is a metaphor for Howard's soul leaving his body. A transition from chaos to the infinite unknown. But go deeper. That visual loop from the opal to Howard's body and back out into space suggests that Howard was the uncut gem all along. Rough, unrefined, messy, addictive, dangerous, but full of beauty. Just like the opal, Howard is a product of suffering. The gem came from a brutal Ethiopian mine under abusive labor. It ends up in the hands of a man who doesn't care how it got there, only what he can gain from it. That's the real commentary. The entire story is a cycle of exploitation, from the mine to Howard to Garnet to the bet to Julia. Everyone's trying to win off someone else's pain. The universe inside Howard's head? It's not fantasy, it's irony. We all think our lives are galaxies, but in the end, they're just moments, fast, fragile, and gone. Howard's story is one of many. The movie pushes out into space to show us, you just watched one chaotic man's spiral, and out there are millions more. It's haunting, beautiful, and cruel. So what now? Howard's dead. Arno's dead. Phil and his partner loot the jewelry store, and Julia? She's still at the casino, holding a ticket worth $1.2 million. That's a whole other ending right there. Julia could cash it in, disappear, and live rich for the rest of her life. But here's the catch. Julia was drawn to Howard's chaos. She loved the high. She risked everything for him. And if history repeats itself, she might blow it all. Remember, she almost threw her life away for the weekend in a nightclub bathroom. She's impulsive, emotional, and just won a fortune from a bet. Will she gamble again? That's what makes the ending so powerful. We don't know. Just like Howard, she's standing on a ledge. What happens next? That's the real horror. The chaos might continue through her. Let's be real. There was no other way this movie could end. Howard couldn't walk away. He was never built to survive peace. The win had to kill him. And in that way, the ending we got, the one where he dies smiling, thinking he finally won, isn't just fitting. It's perfect. It's the best version because it completes the story with brutal honesty. There's no redemption arc, no happy family reunion, no I've learned my lesson speech. Just a man whose addiction ran deeper than money, whose downfall was also his greatest thrill, and whose final breath came at the peak of his dream. Howard didn't want to live, he wanted to win, and for a split second, he did. The universe inside him? Maybe it's just a reflection of how tiny we all are, how even the loudest lives end in silence. And how the chaos of our day-to-day drama eventually disappears into the void. Uncut Gems isn't about justice. It's not even about consequence. It's about compulsion. And Howard was the ultimate gambler. He bet it all, and he got exactly what he wanted, right before it killed him. What did you think of the ending? Did it hit you like a brick or leave you stunned? Drop your take in the comments. I want to know what side you're on. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more deep dive breakdowns just like this. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes winning isn't the goal. Sometimes it's the thrill of the gamble.